Hello, it is May 1st, and I just had a meeting with a client who I'm helping lose weight, get fit, and really she came over to work out, but we're working on her nutrition, which involves a lot more talking than working out. And we ended up talking about, as often happens, I ended up being a therapist more than a fitness coach, which is fine. She's paying me every month, and if that's what she needs, and it's definitely cheaper than regular therapy, then I'm happy to do that for her. And she has lost her husband a while ago to cancer, has two kids in their 20s who are going through challenging times, and she's an immigrant from Mexico, and just all by herself, no help. So I'm happy to help her in any way I can. And we ended up talking, and I ended up sharing some of the stories from my life that are similar, that I hoped would help her out in my experiences. And one story that I continuously tell and come up, and I'm telling people when I'm telling them about serious pivotal moments, if not the most pivotal moment in my life, one of them, and I'm reminded of which, and I was just reminded of it in talking to her again, and I've told the story to people numerous times when I'm talking about the pivotal moments in my life. And I thought that since I do talk about it so often, not often, but it just comes to my mind first and foremost. I should record it so that hopefully my children hear it. And I definitely wanted to share it with my parents to let them know that I think about this and how important and life changing it was to me. Because I don't know if they know, and I want them to know, and I want to record it. So the story is that when I was in high school, we moved to Grosse Pointe when I was in the summer between my seventh grade and eighth grade. I was going into middle school, and I was going from a very ethnic community, a lot of different races in my school, to a very non-ethnic white community. And it was a bit of a culture shock. And being that age, no matter where we were moving, it would have been a culture shock. You know, middle school, it's a uh, very challenging time for adolescents and young people. And I just wanted to have friends that were cool, that would make me look cool. And I befriended some kids in high school that were cooler than I thought were cooler than me, and they weren't with the in crowd, but I thought I could score. They were older than me, a grade older, and I thought I could score some social points by hanging out with them. And I thought they were super cool. They had cars and did whatever the hell they wanted and had no supervision. And for whatever reason, I thought that being friends with them would make me cool, and that people in my school would look at me more favorably because I had a tough time being new to the community and not having grown up in that community and being a little bit different from others in that community. And I just wanted to be accepted, like every kid pretty much does at that age. The problem was that these friends were also bad influences in many ways, drugs, alcohol, that kind of stuff. But I didn't care. I just wanted to be accepted, and wanted to do anything to gain their acceptance. So I'm getting ready I get accepted to college, and I also had this girlfriend at the time who was a terrible influence and just a complete leech. And we're having a party at my quote unquote friends the day before I leave for college. And everyone's there and we're partying. We stay up all night and they're, telling me that I'm an idiot for wanting to go away to college and wasting my parents' money because I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. And I didn't. I just never thought about it. I had no career guidance counseling whatsoever except some stupid standardized tests. That one of which, the one I remember, said that I'd be a good fireman or a radio announcer. And just had no direction and didn't know what the heck I was doing or wanted to do. But I knew that my parents wanted me to go to college. I knew that was very important to them for me to get a college degree. I did know that. I didn't want to disappoint my parents. But I had these friends, putting this stuff in my head all night, and we're getting ready and up in the morning, and I'm sad about leaving my girlfriend, even though the college was like less than an hour away from where I lived. It seemed like the other may as well have been on a different continent. And I was very distraught and not even excited about going to college, which you think I would have been, because I didn't want to leave my friends. I thought that was all I had. And I thought we were going to be friends forever. And she was going to be my girlfriend forever. And, being young and dumb, these are the things you think. And another person was at this party, and we were ending up going to the same school, a gentleman by the name of John Conway. And we weren't really friends in high school, but we kind of hung around the same people. We hung out a little more towards when I was when they were seniors and I was a junior. But I didn't consider him a friend in high school, and he wasn't in the cool crowd, so I didn't want his attention as much as I wanted these other friends' attention. And he happened to be at this party also the night before I was leaving, and we were going to the same school. But I really didn't think much about it. So my parents are getting ready to drive me to college on my first day to sign me up. And all I kept thinking about was my friends are staying here. They're going to community college. And my girlfriend's staying here. She was not even a junior. She was young in high school still. And I wanted to stay home. And I tried to bring this up to my dad about, we could save you so much money for college. And I don't know what I'm doing. And my friends are staying home and they're figuring it out, And the one friend was going to be a doctor because everyone in his family was a doctor, but they went to this medical school in the Dominican Republic, so he didn't have to study or do well, or he just screwed off for all of high school. And my parents rarely, if ever, told me what I needed to do. I was an only child, and they came from backgrounds of various more strict parenting, if you will. And they didn't want to impose that on me, and they wanted me to find my own way. And so they never really imposed any discipline or anything on me my entire life. And I thought I could bowl them over with my logic and of not wanting to go to college yet and trying to figure things out at a community college. And I'll never forget the look on my dad's face when I brought this up to him, and he never put his foot down about anything. Let me do whatever I wanted. And he just looked at me and said, "Get in the car." And even though I knew I could get my way with my parents because I was an only child and had them wrapped around my finger, I knew I never heard him say anything like that, and the energy and knowing how important that was to him, and them being smarter than me and knowing the kinds of kids I was hanging out with, and where my life would have gone, and this girlfriend, had I not gone away. And I ended up even coming back after that year back home and going to Wayne State. But that got me away from that environment. And those friends were so selfish that just being less than an hour away, they never called me. I think they visited once, and every time they did, it was a complete disaster. And they just wanted me to bring me down with them. That's what made them feel more justified about what they were doing, and wanted me to be at their level. And they didn't give a shit about me, but it made them feel better that I would have not gone off to college, not be trying to do positive things and doing some harder work than sitting around and partying every weekend. Even though obviously I did my fair share of that in college as well, but at least I wasn't just hanging out with my high school friends. And the kid that was at the party, John Conway, and because I didn't have these friends with me, and he was at least from my hometown, and we kind of knew each other, so we started hanging out. And I just spoke to him yesterday, and we speak regularly. And he became one of the best friends, my best friend up until this point. We've been friends, even though he's traveled all over the world in the Army and been gone, and we've gone months without ever any contact. And we're still, I hope he feels the same way, close to this day. And I just literally did a Zoom meeting with him yesterday, and we speak regularly. And he's just a great motivator and just a great person. And I'm just so lucky that my dad put his foot down. And because those other friends that I wanted to stay home with, guess where they're at? They're dead from drugs and lack of discipline and lack of parental supervision. Dead. They're both dead. And so even though I came back after that and went to Wayne State, it was just a pivotal moment that got me out of that environment, that opened my eyes to what true friends are and to what I was capable of outside of these loser friends that I had that just wanted to keep me down, and that I could achieve things that were greater than that and have friends and be a good friend to other people and not care about whether they were cool or in the in crowd or not. And so if nothing else, I went on to get degrees from various good institutions and develop a lifelong great friend because of that one decision. And by giving me the discipline that I needed at a very important time, it was either that as well as, meeting my wife after that and just, literally the difference between life and a good life and death and nothing. That's what that decision did. And I'm thankful to my parents for providing that discipline when I didn't have it and I needed it bad. And it's made all the difference in the world in my life. And I thank you for that. And I thank you to John and for being such a great friend, and my Leslie for being there for me all the time. And I just wanted everyone to know that. Thanks.